Yep, she's a must pull. At time. Yeah, if you play gacha games and hate overpaying, listen, LD Shop is giving up to 30% off on Chaos Zero Nightmare and a ton of other gacha game top-ups. For example, here in CZN, the Gem monthly package, which costs usually 85 euro, you get it for 62.94, which is actually insane and a really solid deal overall. And before you ask, yes, it is legit. LD Shop has a 4.8 rating on Trustpilot, which is trusted by players worldwide. Plus, new users get an additional 15% off, and if you use my link, you get an extra 5% discount on top of first-time top-up bonuses. So don't waste your money, hit the link in the description and start saving with LD Shop right now. Yo, what is up guys, I'm here hitting up with a new CZN video today with the Narja guide, as always when there's a new character coming out, and giving you the TLDR version. If you have the pulls, go get Narja. I know the seasonal characters are in general more powerful than all the other characters, but Narja is the first support controller we have gotten so far in this game, and we all complained that we only had Mika, but now we have Narja. Now, why is Narja, in my opinion, a must pull? Very easy, because when we'll look at her cards, where we'll jump in and giving you my opinion, is most of her cards have a unique epiphany. So you can replace now Mika with Narja when you're doing your deck farming. So usually we're doing whatever you want to farm, plus Mika, plus Veronica, and then we try to remove cards and then duplicate something, right? Now with Narja, this turns a lot easier, because a lot of, like, almost 4 out of 5 cards from her have all unique effects. So this just makes deck farming so much easier and bearable till we also get the reroll effect. And I don't know when, is it the next patch or 2 patches later? It just will save a lot of your sanity, okay? Just telling you that much. So go get her, because that just makes it a lot easier to farm decks. Now I will give you, since Narja is the first support and there's a little bit of a different approach, I give you 2 opinions in terms of what you want to aim for and in terms of what are her best cards. Now the cool thing about her, what they did with her, is she only has that one basic attack, and then 2 of her spells are heals with the Veracity. You can keep one of the heal effects, to be honest. You don't need to remove everything, but you can, okay? Now let's jump into Shackle of Hunger. Now the Shackle of Hunger is, I think, one of the only cards that truly does not have a unique effect, personally speaking. And number 1 is the best epiphany for her. I don't think she is a viable damage dealer. I think she's primarily a support unit to increase the damage of your other units. Now, why is Epiphany 1 good compared to, let's say, the other options here? As I said, you don't really wanna attack with her much, because her damage is not the greatest. You have just other characters. It's just not her purpose to deal damage overall, and all the other effects decrease your Veracity stacks for some other shenanigans, and really it doesn't do that much. Now, why is this card good? There's 2 reasons this card is good. Now, it has a multi-hit, hits 4 times. It's good if you have an opponent that has like hunger stacks, so you have multiple times to get rid of the hunger stacks. But the biggest plus point about this card is that it has the effect, the attunement card. When drawn, this effect is activated. So every time you draw the Shackle of Hunger, you get 6 Veracity stacks, okay? And the Veracities, every time you hit someone, you get a healing, and if health is above 50%, plus 30% damage, okay? So basically, this card then is you draw it, you get your 6 stacks, and you just don't do anything with this card, okay? You don't even have to activate this card. It's just draw me, get 6 stacks, good to go, and then it moves to the graveyard. If you have nothing else to activate in this turn, you can activate the card. Otherwise, it's just getting stacks. That's why I do like this card with the attunement, and you're good to go. Then next up, we have the Bottomless Hunger card. This is a card you can be a little bit more fancy. So ideally for this one, you want to duplicate this card in particular before you get an epiphany for it, because then you can maximize the effect out of it. So ideally what you want to do is you have a duplicate of this card, and then you have the upgrade version, the unique one. When Velocity is activated 3 times in 1 turn, decrease cost of 1 random card in the hand by 1, and then you can choose whatever else you want. 1, 2 and 5 are all good cards. 5 is really good because you get a whole lot of velocity stacks. The damage increase for mealtime doesn't really matter too much, but the main priority for it is just getting velocity stacks. Now 1 and 2 are also really good options, because it just 1 gives you also velocity stacks and decreasing a card cost, or the number 2 card is where you can just decrease the cost of 2 cards in your hand by 1, which is very, very strong. Now if you only have 1 for the bottomless hunger, if you don't like, if you epiphany it before you can if you actually epiphany it before you can duplicate it, then it's between 1, 2 and 5 in my opinion, right? It really depends on your deck building, but this is a more of the most flexible card, right? Depending on your needs, you can do whatever you want with this, okay? But ideally the best thing you can do is get a duplicate of this card, have the upgrade version plus 1 of the others. If you don't have, for example, if you don't duplicate this card, then just pick one of the others as well, and then you can duplicate them as well. For voluntary control, the best epiphanies in my opinion is also something where you can basically choose whatever you want with this card, to be honest. Number 5, for example, is interesting if you want to combo Narja with Melee. So if you want to use Narja as Melee support, 100% you want to use number 5 because it just further increases your basic attack damage. Now outside of that, all these cards are really good for her. Like for example, number 3 is cool for 2 turns each time action count of a target is decreased 1 velocity. All bosses have like a bar or meter or something, like in terms of when they actually get their move, right? And every time you do an action, you basically get a velocity stack. So that's also nice to have. And as well, the upgrade card unique, you get 10 velocity, but that is a one-time effect. And then you can select one of your attack cards. So ideally, you want to combo that. This is specifically when you combo that with, for example, Serenial, because then you choose the laser, and then every time you move it to hand, then this one triggers and you get a predation effect as well. But primarily what I like to use for her is 1 and 2 primarily, because with 1 and 2 is when you have less than 6 stacks, you get 9 velocity, and if you have more than 6 stacks, you get free predation effect. And the 2 is also really good because this one allows you to draw your mealtime out of your deck, because that is the core card of her, and mealtime is easily a 0-cost card. Also keep in mind, when it comes to I tested her mealtime card, even if you don't have this card in your hand, this effect is active and carries over, okay? So if you, for example, did the shenanigans with her velocity things and in turn 1, and you basically met the condition to get this card to 0 cost, in turn 2, if you draw this, it costs you 0, okay? So this is actually pretty damn cool. And the cool thing about this card is, if you have it in your hand, right? If you don't have it in your hand, if it's in your draw pile, you draw it. And if it's already activated, now you get free moral boost for free 0 cost. So that's cool because it's basically a buff for your team. So the 60% damage increase, really, really solid in my opinion. And as well, this one is also very flexible with the predation. So I want to mention this once before moving forward. So basically the velocity is what you need for your healing purposes. So every time you attack something, you heal for 40%. And if your health is above 50%, your damage is plus, you get plus 30% damage to attack cards, okay? And predation is if you are in velocity state, plus 80% damage amount dealt by attack cards. So as long as you have Veracity stacks, get a plus 80% damage boost to your attack cards, okay? So this is for that. Now there's one specific thing I want to mention with her in particular, is that her best epiphanies as well, besides the one I'm mentioning, is, especially since you're doing a lot of chaos runs, is picking always the unique effects, because when you have unique one, you can't duplicate them. So whatever you're trying to, when you're doing your deck farming, whatever you're trying to farm, right, this card cannot be duplicated, so it's easier for you to target the correct card, right? So this is cool. Now we have the domain of Veracity, which in my opinion feels like a little bit of one of the weaker cards in my opinion. Personally, it's really between 1 and 5, and I think 5 is definitely the strongest one, because you just activate the card and each time mealtime is used, heal 200%. Okay, so this is very, very cool. You just get a bonus here, so you get a, basically it's all about that mealtime. You activate and you get such a burst heal that's really strong. So you always have like your heal over time effect with the Veracity, and then when you do your mealtime, this is your burst heal when you use it, right? Outside of that, really, the other effects don't really matter too much. The other one that is nice to have is 1, because you do get a little bit of a tenacity boost, but the tenacity boost is so low, it really doesn't do much. But because on Ravage, you get an additional free Veracity, so this is also nice to have. The other ones are not that great. And then last but not least, you have the mealtime, which stacks up the more Veracity you use, and you get a big burst heal plus the predation stacks. Solid option overall. Now for her partners, I think you have 2 options. You either go Arven or you go Nyx on her. Obviously, if you get her partner card, use your partner card for the extra damage increase. But to be honest, I'm not gonna spend my resources right now on her partner card, because I feel like just for an additional plus 20% damage increase, it's like whatever in my opinion. So I just go with Arven. I feel like Arven is very, very solid overall, because you do deck farming. It's just another heal and damage reduction chance. So go with Arven and you're basically good to go. Now when it comes to her potentials, all you want to do is that this is where you want to get to in the skill tree. This one you don't really need. I mean, you can activate it, but this is all you really need, because once you have over 300 defense, you also get a plus 20% damage boost to the predation effect. So this is exactly what you do want to have 100%, so you get there. Outside of that, really it just doesn't matter too much what you want to do with her, to be honest. Now when it comes to our memory fragments, I think it's just standard. You want to go with a 2/2 set effect with Seth Scarab, heal and defense, and then I think the ideal way to go around this is HP, defense, and ego recovery. Right now I have HP, ego. That is also something that works, right, depending on how you want to build her, but I prefer to be like as a pure support. So HP, defense, ego recovery would be the way to go, but I have her on HP right now because it's just the stuff I have. Now when it comes to her manifest ego, I have her E0. I think you really do not need any of her ego dupes at all. Like, I don't think you need it. Like, even E1 is nice, that when you have activate mealtime you get no 6 instead of 4. I don't think it is really that necessary. And also with this one, yeah, if you have an E2, I don't think you ever kind of lose your Veracity, because you get so many if you could do it correctly. So basically all it is for her is the gimmick with her is you want to make sure that you have Veracity stacks all the times, and then get your hands on predation stacks as well. Now for the save data I'm showing you right now is what I found, and I'm actually quite happy with it. I sadly lost one of my voluntary control, but it is what it is. So I think the 3 of the randomness is very solid for her, because you start off with 4 AP, draw 1. I think this is probably her strongest equipment, which I want to mention here right now. And then flashbang, also decreasing the damage of your opponent. Then, as I said, the shackle with the 6 Veracity is good, because you get it, like for example at the start of the battle, you do your upgrades and stuff like that, you don't necessarily activate that many cards. You have that card just because you start with this card, you now have already 6 Veracity stacks, and this basically helps you out quite a bit, and you don't even need to activate it. Now I duplicated the Bottomless Hunger because it just happened to be that way, and I use it primarily not for the damage boost but for the Veracity, just 0 cost. I get stacks with her. Then I have the Voluntary Control 2 times. As I said, if Mealtime is in draw pile, you can draw it out of your deck, which is good. And if you already activate it, you get free moral boost, which is good as well. Then the Voluntary Control, I think this is a really, and this is what I want to mention here real quick, is a very solid fake epiphany, I would say. You get the basic one, draw 1, which is huge in my opinion, because this is a way where you can turn your support into also a draw powerhouse with having a card like this, for example, in your deck. And then 2 other cards I think are 2 other ones I got is the Forbidden One, Disposable Ego, and the Self-Generating Experiment. This one here, if you have 6 or more cards in hand, cost of 1 random card in hand decreased by 1, which I think is nice as well. It's not a must-have, I just ended up with because I was like, I mean, if you use it with Serennial as well, you do have a bunch of cards in your hands, and it's easy just to get there and then reduce cast cards. But the way I see building this character overall is you don't need that many, I would say, cards like this. Duplicate, she's a unit that doesn't really need that many duplicates in my opinion, but you wanna 100% wanna have a forbidden card, something like a Disposable Ego, something like a Fury card, something with draw capabilities, you know. And then you can also add the other cards. I forgot the name. Conversation. I think she does benefit if you get something like a Conversation card where you can just draw cards out of your deck, like card drawing, and you're basically good to go, since she's not really that heavy in terms of you need heavy duplication effects, and you're basically good to go. Nothing really else you need. Now where I want to showcase you is with the new Spiral content, the Spiral Tower. This is the team I'm using now. I really love the combo of Serennial and Renoa, and now let's throw in Narja as well. They are level 45 though, so I see them dying fairly quickly. And let's just check out how this looks like in action. Let's just jump in. So there are 5 slots. Let me turn off the auto, and we have a bunch of cards right now. So let me get rid of my cards here real quick, and then boom, decrease the cost of some of these cards here, and we just hit everything we can right now. It for this turn 1, like I think it's fairly easy right now, but I think the further you go into the Spiral Tower, the harder it becomes. Now the cool thing, as you can see, is I drew the Shackle of Hunger right now, so I got 6 Veracity stacks, okay? So this is the cool part here, okay? So you got the 6 stacks here. I have this one, the Bottomless Hunger. Let me activate this one. Boom, I get 7 more stacks, plus the Bottomless Hunger effect here. So if we use Mealtime, we get bonus damage, but it's whatever. And then here's the cool thing. Now that we already have 13 stacks, now we get 2 Predation stacks, and we draw an additional card here. Now obviously if we can, this one has now 430% defense based damage, so this can potentially actually do some nice damage if you want to, but you don't necessarily need to be honest. So this is a matter of fact more of a choice than anything else. And then here you don't really need to do anything, but also by not doing anything, this is perfectly fine, because now if we activate some of these cards here, for example, you see here you're getting healing because you're triggering the Veracity stacks from the Narja, right? So this is very solid overall, because you don't really have to think about it really. You can just do your shenanigans, because you will just keep healing anyways, okay? So this is the cool thing with Narja in particular. Now, is there anything else I want to show off with this character right now here? Okay, so we got more cards. So here we go. Activate this one because we do get a moral boost. I like that one. Even more Veracity stacks. So now we have 12 Veracity stacks, right? Let's activate and draw a card. So this would be also like really cool with disposable. If you combat with mealtime, draw out the mealtime. I'm not 100% sure if you can pull 6 cards, because before you draw it, if it counts as a 6 cost card. I don't think so, because in the draw pile it's already 0 cost, so that's whatever. But as you can see here, we didn't last turn we didn't activate mealtime. It's still in deck, but it's a 0 cost card, so that's pretty damn cool. And here we can draw it out of our deck, and then we can activate it and then get 4 predation stacks. The cool thing also about this one is, as you can see here with her, is that she actually has an AoE skill, so she does have a little bit of damage capabilities when it comes to her kit, but as I said, it's not really a requirement whatsoever, and you can just go full support. But we can also try her as a Zuru sub DPS character if we really want to. Okay, but the cool thing is, I like that she has AoE damage capabilities, so that's actually pretty damn cool. So she does have her usability in the team, and she can help you out with let's say a little bit of tenacity bar removal, for example, and just getting just killing the enemies faster, right? She's a nice support. Like, let's be honest here for a second, she's just the better, she is just 100%, 1,000,000,000% the better Mika. That's basically, Narja's just basically the 5-star Mika in this game. That's the TLDR version of it, to be honest. There's nothing really else we need to talk about here. And yeah, as you can see here, you get a bunch of healing with her, as well as the cool part with the veracity stacks. And that's really about the entire gimmick with her, is make sure that you have as many veracity stacks as possible, okay? And once you got that going for you, oh, so interesting enough is, so you beat all these 5 stages and that counts as 1. So you actually can get all the way up to 25 in the first week, which is interesting, good to know. But yeah, so this is for the Narja guide. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Personally, I really like this character. It makes deck farming a lot easier and simpler. I personally advise you guys to go get her if you have the pulls, or at least try to get her, because she's basically the 5-star version of Mika. And yeah, she's just 100% better than Mika, and that's about it. And yeah guys, and as always, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like in the comment down below. I really appreciate it, and see you with the next one. Deuces.